Good evening. Today I'll be narrating Barack Obama's victory speech. Grant Park, Illinois, November 4, 2008. If there's anyone out there still doubts that America is a place where all things are possible, who still wonders if the dreams of our founders is alive in our time, who still questions the power of our democracy, tonight is your answer. It's the answer told by lines that stretched round schools and churches in numbers this nation has never seen. By people who waited 3 hours and 4 hours, many for the very first time in their lives, because they believed that for this time must be different, that their voice could be the difference. It's the answer spoken by young and old, rich and poor, the Democrat and Republicans, black, white, Latino, Asians, Native Americans, gay, straight, disabled and not disabled. Americans who sent a message to the world that we have never been a collection of red states and blue states. We are and always will be the United States of America.
The United States of
The United States of America. It's the answer that led those who have told so far by so many to be cynical and fearful and doubtful of what we can achieve, to put by their hands on the arc of history and bend it once more towards the hope of a better day. It's been a long time coming, but tonight, because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come to America. I just received a very gracious call from Senator McCain. He fought long and hard in this campaign, and he fought even longer and harder for the country he loves. He has endured sacrifice for America that most of us cannot begin to imagine, and we are better off for the service rendered by this brave and selfless leader. I congratulate him and Governor Palin for all they have achieved, and I look forward to working with them to renew this nation's promise in the months ahead. I want to thank my partner in this journey, a man who campaigned from his heart and spoke for the men and women he grew up with on the streets of Scranton and rode with me on that train home to Delaware, the Vice President-elect of the United States, Joe Biden. I would not be standing here tonight without the unyielding support of my best friend for the last 16 years, the rock of our family and the love of my life, our nation's next First Lady, Michelle Obama. Shasha and Malia, I love you both so much, and you have earned the new puppy that's coming with us to the White House. And while she is no longer with us, I know my grandmother's watching, along with the family that made me who I am. I miss them tonight, and I know that my debt to them is beyond measure. To my campaign manager, David Fluffy, my chief strategist, David Axelrod, and the best campaign team ever assembled in the history of politics, you made this happen, and I'm forever grateful for what you have achieved, sacrificed to get it done. But above all, I will never forget who this victory truly belongs to. It belongs to you. I was never the likeliest candidate for this office. We didn't start with much money or with much endorsement. Our campaign was not hatched in the halls of Washington. It began in the backyard of Des Moines, and in the living room of Concord, and in the front porch of Charleston. It was built by the young working men and women who dug into their little savings they had to give $5 or $10 or $20 for this cause. It grew strength from the young people who rejected their myth of their generation's apathy, who left their home and their family for job and offered little pay and less sleep. From the not-so home young people who braved the bitter cold and scorching heat to knock on the doors of perfect strangers. From the millions of Americans who volunteered and organized, people then proved that more than 2 centuries later, a government of the people, by the people, for the people, has not perished from this earth. This is our victory. I know you didn't do this just for fun, win an election. And I know that you didn't do it for me. You did because you didn't understand the enormity of the task that lies ahead. For even as we celebrate tonight, we know that challenges of our tomorrow will bring to the greatest of our lifetime. 2 wars, a planet of peril, the worst financial crisis in a century. Even as we stand here tonight, we know that there are brave Americans waking up in the deserts of Iraq and the mountains of Afghanistan to risk their lives for us. They are mothers and fathers who will lie awake after the doctor's bill and save enough for their for college. There is a new energy to harness and new job to be created, new school to build, and threats to meet, an alliance to repair. The road ahead will be long, our climb will be steep. They will not be, may not get there in 1 year or even one term. But America, I have never seen been a more great hopeful than I am tonight that we will get there. I promise you, we as people, we will get there. There will be setbacks and false start. There are many who won't agree with every decision or policy I make as president, and we know that government can't solve every problem. But I will be honest with you that above the challenges we face, I will listen to you, especially when we disagree. And above all, I will ask you, join in the work of remaking this nation the only way remaking this nation the only way it's been done in America for 221 years. Block by block, brick by brick, calloused hand by calloused hand. What began 21 months in the depth of winter must not end on this autumn night. This victory alone is not the change we seek. It's only the chance for us to make that change. And that cannot happen if we go back the way things were. It cannot happen without you. So let's summon a new spirit of patriotism, of service and responsibility where each of us resolve to pitch in and work harder and look after not only ourselves but each others. Let's remember that if this financial crisis taught us anything, it's that we cannot have a thriving Wall Street while Main Street suffers. In this country, we rise or fall as one nation, as one people. Let's resist the temptation to fall back on the same partisanship and pettiness and immaturity that has poisoned us politics for so long. Let's remember that it was a man from this state first carried on the banner of the Republican Party to the White House, a party founded on the values of self-reliance, individual party, liberty, and national unity. Those are the values we share. And while the Democratic Party has won a great victory tonight, we do so with a measure of humility and determination to heal the divides that we have held back our progress. As Lincoln said to a nation far more divided than ours, we are not enemies, but friends, though passion may have strained it most, not to break our bonds of affection. And to those Americans whose support I have yet to earn, I may not have won your vote, but here I hear your voice, I need your help, and I will be your president too. And to all watching tonight, from beyond our shores, from parliaments and palaces, to those who are huddled around the radios of the forgotten corners of the world, our stories are singular, but our destiny is shared, and a new dawn of American leadership is at hand. To those who would tear this world down, we will defeat you. To those who seek for peace and security, we support you. And to all those who have wondered if America's beacon still burns as bright, tonight we proved once more that the true strength of our nation comes not from the might of our arms or the scale of their wealth, but from the enduring power of our ideals, democracy, liberty, opportunity, and unyielding hope. For though that is the true genius of America, that America can change. Our unison can be perfect, and that we have already achieved gives us hope that we can and must achieve tomorrow. This election has had many firsts and many stories that will be told for generations. But that's on my mind tonight is about a woman who cast her vote in Atlanta. She's a lot like the millions of others who stood in line to make their voice heard in this election, except for one thing. Ann Nixon Cooper's 106 years old. She was born this generation past slavery, a time where there was no cars on the road or planes in the sky, when someone like her couldn't vote for two reasons: because she was a woman and because of the color of her skin. And tonight, I think above all that she's seen throughout her century in America, the heartache and the hope, the struggle and the progress, the time we were told that we can't, and the people who pressed on that with American creed, yes we can. At a time when women's voice was silenced and the hope dismissed, she lived to see them stand up and speak out and reach for the ballot. Yes, we can. When there was despair in the Dust Bowl and depression across the land, she saw our nation conquer fear itself with a new deal, new job, and a new sense of common purpose. Yes, we can. When the bombs fell on our harbor and tyranny threatened the world, she saw there to witness a generation rise to greatness, and democracy was saved. Yes, we can. When she was there on the buses of Montgomery, the horses in Birmingham, a bridge in Selma, and a preacher in Atlanta, who told the people that we shall overcome. Yes, we can. A man touched down from on the moon. A wall came down in Berlin. A world was connected by our own science and imagination. And this year in the election, she touched her finger to a screen and cast her vote because after 106 years in America, through the first best of times and the darkest of hours, she knows how America can change. Yes, we can. America, we have come so far. We have seen so much, but there is so much more to do. Tonight, let's ask ourselves if our children should live to see the next century, if my daughters should be so lucky to live as long as Ann Nixon Cooper, what change will they see? What progress will we have made? This is our chance to answer that call. This is our moment. This is our time to put our people back to work and open doors of opportunity for our kids, to restore prosperity and promote the cause of peace, to reclaim the American dream and reaffirm that fundamental truth that out of many we are one, that while we breathe we hope, and where we are met by cynicism and doubt and those who tell us that we can't, we will respond with that timeless creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, we can. Thank you. God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you and good night.